What's going on YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, following our journey as we're in September. But we are dealing this week, as you're watching this, I'm filming this the day before. It's like the last blow of summer to North Carolina. I don't know where you guys are all located, but here in North Carolina, it's supposed to be 100 today, 100 tomorrow, 96 on Thursday. It's supposed to just be absolutely brutal. So my pavement's wet. I've been watering. I'm pushing. It's like the last chance for summer to kill all my seeds. So I got to go buy new grass seed, and I don't want that to happen. So sprinklers are on full blast. It is hot. I went and played golf yesterday, and sometimes, most of the time, I'm into the golf. I'm not into the weather, but it was so stinking humid and hot down in Wilson, North Carolina. Oh my goodness. I was like, I can't imagine how my grass feels, cool season grass. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. For those that want shorter videos, we're going to try to keep this to a shorter video today. And so we're going to talk about real quick something that we've kind of not hit on a whole lot this late summer coming into this repair season of September. And that is something that can to determine how your grass does once it gets established and once it grows. And that's your pH levels. We've talked about this on the channel before. We've not hit on a whole lot, but many of you, that's one of the big reasons we do soil tests. One of the big reasons I do it. Where is my pH level? We know that for cool season turf, we want to be between that 6 and that 7. That's the ideal range of our pH. And so we can't get an idea of what that is without soil tests. Now, we always put links in the descriptions for My RX Soil. They've been great. They sent me some tests to advertise here on the channel. For My Soil Savvy, they've been excellent. Yard Mastery has a test kit. We'll link some test kits below, but you don't have to use those links and go with that mail home. Now, if you're just like, I just want to do it, stick it in the mailbox, forget it, look it up online when it's available, then this is the kit for you. If you have more time, if you're retired, if you've got time to pull your soil sample and run up to your local extension of your county or area, they will do a soil test for you, but sometimes it does take a lot longer. Most of the time, at least here where I live, they're kind of prioritizing farmers depending on the season and what time, when tobacco season's in and all that. But you can go for free to a local extension. So don't think this is the only way to get a soil test. There's some cheapo things also in Lowe's, Home Depot, where it says you can use distilled water. You can pull some soil and get some type of pH reading. Do we trust those? I don't know that I do. I like an official lab analyzing the soil and giving me results. This Friday, September 8th, 7 p.m. Mr. Kevin will be here. Mr. Blake will be here before Mr. Blake heads off on vacation. They've got soil tests. We may try to pop up on the screen. I don't know if I can do that on the live stream, but we may show it to you, talk about that possibly. But today I'm going to show you my recent late August soil test. Where are we? For those that have been sticking around the channel, you guys know here at my lawn, my pH, according to My RX Soil, was around 6.8, 6.9, close to 7. That's getting up to the high range, and that's with me just not paying attention to it. And so I then started paying attention using ammonium sulfate nitrogen 2100 from Lawn Supply Company, applying that as my nitrogen source for a while, because that will help bring it down, as well as I used a product from Jonathan Green. I will link that below. If you have a high pH looking to bring it down, this product from Jonathan Green, if you spread it several times a year, it's supposed to help to reduce pH levels. If your pH levels are low, if you're like Mr. Kevin, I believe, told me he's pretty low, adding lime will help to raise up your pH level. Again, you want to make sure you're putting down the right product. If you're at 6.9, you don't want to put lime down and raise it up and shoot up to a 7.9. That is a terrible mistake. If you're down low, you don't want to be using ammonium sulfate. You don't want to be using citric acid and push it down under 5s and 5.5. You don't want to be that low. From what I've read and what I understand from some of the professionals, fescue and cool season turf like slightly acidic pH levels, meaning 6.3, 6.5, right in that range, 6.2. You're slightly acidic side. You're more on the acidic side than the alkaline side, 6.6, 6.7, and 8 up here, which is why I begin to try to push my pH level back down. And according to this latest test, you'll see here in a minute where I'm at. So let me slide over to the left. Maybe you're right here, and let me pull it up. So here's the bar graph. And you notice that I've got some things here that are somewhat high, but if you look to the very far right, you'll see the pH there and it is in optimal, perfect position. I did not expect that whatsoever. I expected to be from like the high 7, almost close to 7 where I was last time. I expected to be somewhere around maybe like 6.7, 6.6, but maybe the ammonium sulfate really, what I was putting down really had an effect. So my pH is almost perfect. I believe I want to go down a little bit more. So with my HCU applications of urea, I'm going to add in a little bit of the ammonium sulfate 2100. That will help to push it down a little bit, but it also will cause a lot more growth from what I read as well. So be aware of that. That's where we can talk about PGRs and maybe slowing down growth. But anyways, so getting into the next slide here, the actual raw numbers, because you've been looking at this while I was talking about that part. You see 6.4 is where I'm at. I'm at optimal. My nitrogen is high. Remember, I took this not too long after I did the green effect. And remember, I went hard on the green effect, right? I hadn't put any iron down all year, really at all. And so I put down iron, and then we did a lot of nitrogen right there, the 700 green effect. So I believe that is exactly why that says high, is because of that right there. And then if we scroll down, our phosphorus, look at my phosphorus. It says it's high, 16, where you want to be between 5 and 11. I have not put down any starter fert in my lawn in 2 years. I have not put down any starter fert. I've not put down any phosphorus, knowingly put down any phosphorus in my lawn in 2 years. And I have high phosphorus in my soil. So be aware of that. For all of you that are asking, Mr. Ferguson, should I put down HCU? Should I put down starter fert? This is why you do a soil test. Seeing this and knowing I have high phosphorus, why in the world would I want to put down more starter fert, more P? If anything, I just need to let that buddy ride back down low and not add anything. And eventually I may need to look at how to lower it through other elements or things of that nature. So moving on real fast, we're optimal in our potassium for the first time. I gotta slow clap that. I finally made it. It took me 3 years, but I finally got enough potassium to where I'm optimal. This is the first optimal. I've been low, and now we've gotten up to optimal. My K is now optimal. Potassium, remember, is your stress relief. In summer, in winter, you want your K to be correct. Sulfur, I'm low. In the green effect, you actually had sulfur in that mix. There's other mixes, biostimulants, sulfur. Sulfur is important. I'm low on that, but only by like 0.5. So not too bad there. My calcium is high, which I'm good with. Remember the calcium from the 101, high calcium. We wanted that. We applied that on purpose because calcium helps build the cell walls of our grass. That's something that I know Pete was doing, and I believe, again, it helped me get through summer. I have no big spots in my lawn that I'm dying off because it's just giving up and the cell walls are weak. We have high calcium. That makes sense. So that's good. I like to see high. It will eventually lower itself down. Then we got my manganese, and we'll jump down. Manganese and magnesium both are high. They almost stay high. And you see iron high as well. I don't understand the iron. That's something I need to talk to a professional, somebody like Grass Factor. I don't understand it. It may be the test. Somebody, I think from RX Soil, explained it. It's parts per million, how they measure it. But every test I take, my iron is high, and I've only used green effect once this year. Didn't use it all year because I've seen if my iron levels will slowly come down, and they just don't seem to be doing that. I'm learning myself, so I don't know how to answer that, but we're high on calcium, magnesium, iron. Sodium is level, and manganese. And then now you're getting to the micronutrients, which are a little less important, but sodium, we're good. Iron high, magnesium high, zinc, we're optimal. And then copper and boron, we're low. If you're low in these and you want to adjust that, that's where you would want to look at something like microgreen or something similar products that's out there on the market. So there's my soil test. I'm happy. The main thing I wanted to see is, where's my pH? Do I need to be adding lime? Because if you're out there and you have a low pH level, then while you're doing your seeding, you might as well calculate how much lime do I need. And I think even if you Google lime calculator, it will help you figure out per 1,000 square feet. It's a lot. Like, you will need lots of pounds per 1,000 of lime to begin to raise up your pH level. And you want your pH in that range so that your grass is happy. It can grow in these environments. It's getting all the nutrients and everything it needs to survive and thrive in your lawn. So real quickly, this Wednesday, it is hot as a mess out here. My phone will probably cut off soon. I wanted to bring my soil test to you. Don't forget about your pH. Be conscious about where your phosphorus levels are about choosing starter fert. Many of you probably have already seeded up north, but some of you here in North Carolina may be holding off. Do a soil test real quick, send it off. You can get it back in a week. Where do I need to apply starter fert? Do I need to hold this starter fert and get something like a 2100, a 2807, something without phosphorus in it, because I don't want to blow my phosphorus numbers way too high. You don't want to do that. So when you guys are asking me in the comments, several have, should I use starter Fert? Should I use urea? What do I use here? This is how you determine that. This is how I determine that, because if it's already present in the soil, I don't need to add more. So we'll leave it there. So leave your comments below. We got some links below on tests. We'll have some links below on some starter Fert if you need to add phosphorus. If you're way too high on phosphorus and you want something like a Flagship or HCU or Protein, which is excellent. I love Protein, one of my favorite Ferts. We'll link that below if you're looking for that. But do a soil test, and I hope you're going to be successful as we move into cooler temps. Hopefully by Monday next week, we're talking about rain. We still haven't gotten any rain since the hurricane. Out here watering, it's terrible, but it is what it is. It's lawn care, right? It's always something. God bless you guys. Hope you enjoy this quick Wednesday video. We'll see you on Friday with the next one. God bless you.